Hi, Minasan! Welcome back! We are going and jumping the gun a little bit. We are playing Ace Attorney, Apollo Justice. Oh yeah! Game number 4 in this lovely series that just doesn't end. Anyway, let's get it started. Well, this doesn't already seem creepy. Oh god, it's so ominous. Showdown time. Bum bum bum. You lose. That's right, you lost. Wrong! Okay, well, oh, this is such a wonderful way of opening up the game, isn't it? I seem to be in a bit of trouble. Something like that. Dead? Someone hit him hard. Me? Please. The cops should be here any minute. I'm in your hands, should it come to that. April 20th, 9:37 a.m., District Court, Defendant Lobby number 3. Well, isn't that just a fun way of starting off a game? No warning whatsoever, we're just boom. Alrighty. Panicked. I'm sweaty. I can admit it. I'm nervous. Good morning. You! Good morning, sir. You look tense, Justice. Wound up tight. Wound up, sir? No, I'm loose. I'm fine. That screeching noise. Is that your voice? I suppose it's to be expected. Your first trial and it's a homicide. I guess justice doesn't start small, eh? I'm fine! I got up at 5 a.m. to do my Cords of Steel workout. I'm fine! Ah, that explains it. I did detect a certain rasping quality to your screech. I overdid it again. You! Stop having that condescending attitude with me! As you know, your client today is a good friend of mine. I wouldn't want to let him down. If you get my drift? Drift gun, sir! I'm all over that drift! As it happens, I dined with him the night of murder. We can't let this case fall through. Yes, I'm fine, sir! One more thing. Don't say you're fine quite so much. People might take you the wrong way. Why would you say that? Seriously, he's just, ooh! I'll be preparing our case. You might want to introduce yourself to the client. Well, what if I want to introduce myself to the client on my own time, not on your time? My name is Apollo Justice. If it isn't clear already, I'm a new attorney. And today is my first trial. Not that I'm worried or anything. I would be extremely worried, Apollo. I would be extremely worried, and I would be running for the hills. The defendant has been accused of murder. My boss wants to help him out, of course. And so do I. I mean, there's no way he did it. Not him. No way! Bum, 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 ba-da. There he is! Oh my god! That's right. Whoa! Dot dot dot. Good morning. Dot dot dot. Morning. It's all up to you today. First trial. Nervous. Meeting him. Cardiac arrest. I'm sorry, guys. I'm gonna probably flub on some of these words. I can't read that well. Dot dot dots everywhere. I think I'm supposed to say something. Help? So, you're... Fine! I'm fine! No, that's not what you say, Apollo! Mr. Fine, is it? No! No! I did remember you having an odd name. Well, we're off to a great start, aren't we? Are you sure you're okay? I mean, with me? Dot dot dots! Mr. Gavin is a top-notch defense attorney. And he's your friend, so why... Dot dot dots! You'll see. Oh, don't say crap like that! That makes me think something's gonna happen! Ooh! Mr. Turnabout himself, you can do it. Be confident. I'm really sorry this happened to you. I mean, Damn it, Apollo, you're tripping over your words! It's time, shall we? Yes, sir! Let's go into the courtroom, sir! Let's go make a fool of ourselves, sir! I am so bad at this. Well, Apollo is so bad at this. Okay, I need to focus. First trial, here comes justice! April 20th, 10 a.m., District Courtroom number 2. So wait a minute, why were we in Defense Lobby 3 if we're going into Courtroom 2? I'm confuddled. that little nitpicks. Oh, you! You, Winston Payne, I saw you. The court is now in session. The prosecution is ready, Your Honor. Oh, God. Did I really do that voice for him? He looks so much older, so I think I can get away with it. The defense is, ready, Your Honor. Mind going blank. Don't panic. Too late. Your name was Mr. Justice. And this is your first trial? Yes, Your Honor. But I'm fine. Really. Are you quite sure? Your voice sounds a bit strange. Don't question me. Mr. Gavin. Yes, Your Honor. I was under the impression that you would be heading up this case. That was my intention, yes. However, a defense attorney must always cede to his client's wishes. And my client specifically requested Mr. Justice. Well, of course he wants justice. But to entrust his case to this greenhorn, whoa. I do not exaggerate when I say that you're the best defense attorney in town, Mr. Gavin. Okay, so Gavin's got trial experience. Fine, but does he have cords of steel? No, he does not, Apollo. Then let's begin. The defendant may enter the courtroom. Dot dot dots. This is truly an unfortunate turn of events. I'm sorry we had to meet again under these circumstances. Long time no see, Mr. Wright. Let's put the past behind us, shall we? These days, I'm merely Phoenix Wright, piano player. Mr. Wright, how could this have happened? I won't speak of it further then. If the prosecution would be so kind as to explain the charges, Mr. Payne. To think, I saw you enter this court as a fresh attorney, and now I see you leave in chains. Am I really doing that for him? I feel it fits somewhat, but at the same time, I dislike it. Winston Payne. Subtle as ever, I see. At least you remembered who he was now, Phoenix. Ahem. The crime occurred at the Borscht Bowl Club, a Russian restaurant. The defendant, Phoenix Wright, took the victim, a customer, and he hit him. Wham! On the head. Smack! Killed him cold.
A customer at the restaurant, you say? And the defendant, you say he was?
The pianist for the club, it seems.
Phoenix Wright. A pianist?
This is the weapon that took the victim's life. A bottle of grape juice. Grape juice is apparently our defendant's drink of choice. It's grape juice, everybody! It's just like investigations. That is clearly grape juice. Not anything else. Don't think of it as anything else. We're trying to keep a lower rating on the game. It's grape juice, damn it!
The court accepts the deadly bottle as evidence.
Deadly bottle added to... Really? You're gonna call it a deadly bottle?
Something to note, Justice.
All evidence is filed in the court record. I know, Kristoff! I am not a gumshoe! Make a practice of checking it frequently. The court record. Right, I've heard of that! Use the court record button to look at the evidence so far. I don't need to look at it! I'm confident in your ability to handle this. Leave me alone! Right, the court record button. Sounds like it's time for some hands-on action. No, it is not.
So, the victim was a customer at the restaurant. But just who was this, Shoddy Smith fellow?
Shoddy Smith, I love the puns! The puns are hilarious. Oh, I'm so happy. We believe he was a traveler, Your Honor.
A traveler?
According to his passport, he had been out of the country for a number of years. He had only just returned to this country recently, though his place of residence is unclear.
And he had some sort of connection with the defendant?
No, he did not! That is where you fail, Winston Payne! That is where you fail. That, too, is unclear at present, Your Honor. He does, but I actually get to... I'm just laughing at these people for not figuring everything out. For a prosecutor, you've already failed within 5 seconds by just everything I'm going to learn about this case. We believe that they first met at the Borscht Bowl Club on the night of the crime.
If they had only just met, then why murder? Perhaps the victim slighted the defendant's piano playing.
That doesn't appear to have been the case. No, the motive had nothing to do with the defendant's lack of playing skills. Oh, low one! That was a low one! At least, not piano playing, I'll let this photo explain what I mean. Card game. Gambling! As we can see, a game of poker was in progress at the scene of the crime.
Wait a second! Isn't poker gambling? That's a crime in and of itself!
Such a strict world we live in. Indeed, it appears our defendant has fallen to become the basest sort of criminal. Basest?
It is true that the defendant was engaged in a game of poker with the victim. Yet it was only that, a game, in the purest sense. A competition, Your Honor.
Competition?
Yes, a test of wits, a silent clash of passions. Only the cards, their backs writhed in blue flame. No, its final outcome.
Excuse me, everybody roll that back a bit. Kristoff, how did you know these cards were blue? Nitpicking to the extreme gets you your results. Kristoff, you've officially piqued my curiosity.
Come again.
The cards on the table had blue backs, Your Honor.
See? Now we know they had blue backs, but how did you know this, Kristoff, before this was presented as evidence? The photo is black and white!
Why did you know?
I'm sorry, guys. I'm gonna nitpick so badly. Every single time I see something worth nitpicking, I'm gonna do it.
I believe the defense was waxing poetic in an attempt to mystify those present and impress women.
Okay. That will be our first order of business here then. To find out more about this fatal game of cards. Very well, defendant. You will testify to the court about the poker competition held on the night of the crime. My pleasure. I feel like Phoenix also maybe got my lovely nitpick.
This is it! My first trial! Here goes nothing! Damn it, Apollo! Why do you have to be so bad?
I get it, you're a greenhorn, but I still don't like that you're so bad at this. I am a pianist by trade, yet I can hardly play at all. My real job is to take on the interested customers over at the poker table. The room where we play and the competition in there are the club's main attractions. The rules are simple. We play a game of poker using 2 decks of cards. That's all it is, a game. And our customers are happy. A pianist who can't play piano.
Better than a defense attorney who can't defend.
Dot, dot, dot!
Damn you, Judge!
Very well. The defense may begin the cross-examination.
Right, Your Honor. I'm ready. My first cross-examination. Don't blow it.
Yeah, don't blow it, Apollo. Are you all right? You're sweating bullets.
I am fine. But bullets? Where?
It's a figure of speech, Justice. Your voice sounds strained and raspy, too.
My brain feels strained and raspy, sir.
You've watched me perform cross-examinations many times. Though you've never done one yourself, have you? Care for a refresher?
No! I do not need a refresher, damn it! Stop treating me like a friend new to this game series.
What do I do? Shall I ask Mr. Gavin for a refresher? Nope. Did not mean to do that. No. I do not need a refresher, Mr. Gavin. No need for help here, sir. I think I got this one covered. I think you'd better do more than think. You know it or you do not.
I know it, damn it!
I'm fine. The cords of steel are ready for battle.
My weapons, press and present.
Those do not sound like good weapons. Find any inconsistencies, any lies in the testimony, and reveal them to the court. That is a cross-examination. Learn it, know it, do it.
Inconsistencies? Lies? Phoenix Wright? Ha ha ha! As if! Phoenix Wright would never lie, and it's up to me to prove it!
The defense may begin the cross-examination. I'm getting there.
They pay you just to play the piano? Play poker?
There. That would seem to be the case. I am a professional after all.
Blech! Do I detect pride in that statement? It's just hard for an honest, hard-working member of society like me to imagine.
Yes. Your imagination was always a bit limited, Winston.
What?
I've played poker for 7 years in that little room, and I've never lost once.
What?
You see why the customers come down? Defeat the undefeated poker champion. It's quite a draw. That is, I'm quite a draw. Oh!
Wait, you've never lost once? Not even one time?
As I said, I'm a professional.
Phoenix! He's played poker for 7 years and not lost once? Is that even possible? The room in the crime scene photo is an attraction.
It has quite a history, actually. The Borscht Bowl Club used to be a gathering spot for the black market types back in the day.
Black market?
All in the past. Things like the black market are only in the silver screen nowadays. Suffice to say that there were a lot of deals being made under the table. Right there in that room. A smoking room. Gambling hoods. You know? Just looking at this picture makes me feel bad. The bosses gathered around the table, cutting deals, safe from the eyes of the law. Meanwhile, a goon keeps watch through the small window. I can practically picture it now.
That window does look like it would be good for keeping a lookout, but what else?
The room had a few other tricks to it, though it was common knowledge to our regulars. At any rate, they come to play poker in a room steeped in history. Despite the dark past, it was all just good, clean fun. We're gonna press this next statement. 2 decks of cards. A simple measure to prevent cheating. Hold on a minute, guys. I think we're gonna have to close this. Okay. Sorry about that, everyone. I think this should run a little bit smoother now, hopefully. If you alternate 2 decks, no one can slip in cards. God. There's something else I noticed. In addition to the cards on the table, there are some lying scattered on the floor. Precisely. Cards on the table, cards upon the floor. Each one forming a complete deck. A crime scene painted blue by a sad sweep of cards. It is poetic, really. Incidentally, we use 2 types of cards at the club. One deck of cards was red, the other blue. As I recall, in poker you make 5-card hands. I can see how it would be easy to cheat. Yes, a game of hands. I feel like you're trying to tell me something, Phoenix! Damn it, don't do this to me, Phoenix! competition you're talking about. I believe the court understands the nature of the game sufficiently. That's right. It was just a game. I found no inconsistencies in that testimony. I was just present for details. It was a simple game after all. Ha ha ha. Fire! Never nagging you, Judge! Are you sure? People are not murdered over simple games, Mr. Justice. Again! He's not the guy who murdered him, so yes, it was a simple game. Boom! Defendant! You were in the room the very moment the crime occurred. No, I was not. Yet you claim no connection to the crime. Now that's strange. What's strange? I was testifying about the competition that night. Asking me about the crime at this point is against the rules, Your Honor. Oh, you're playing the system, Phoenix! Of course, I expected to hear a cry of objection from the defense. Damn it, Apollo! Oh, I love you, Apollo, but, yeah, you failed. I completely let that one slip by. Don't despair yet, Justice. Sir? Right? There is something I'd like made clear. Namely, your connection to the case at hand. And I'd like to hear it from you. ... Sure, why not? Why not just go and throw more testimony in my way? Very well. The defendant will amend his testimony. Just one little press. And I've got myself a whole new testimony. I know, Apollo. It's creepy. I plead silent regarding the murder, but I will say I never touched the murder weapon. Interesting. Fortunately, I gotta, contradict you, because guess what? If I go look at this, his fingerprints are on it! So, objection! So, you say you didn't touch the murder weapon. This grape juice bottle? Right? So I said, Ag! Something the matter, Mr. Justice? Oh, why did you grow your hair like that? Too bad our new defense attorney never learned how to play dumb. What's this, Mr. Payne? I examined the grape juice bottle in question, you see. And it was colored with the defendant's fingerprints. Hey! B-word! Objection! No need to shout, Mr. Justice. I can hear you just fine. I love you, Apollo. I'm sorry, guys. I'm gonna just keep falling over myself every time this knucklehead does something. Excess yelling can damage the judge's ears and our case. But what about my court of steel? Anyway, let's move on. What's so strange about fingerprints on a bottle in a restaurant? Well, that's true. The prints alone don't prove he did it. Oh my crap! Okay, I officially do not like his objection. It's creepy. Let's see if I can do this. Oh, they wouldn't prove a thing if they were normal fingerprints. Huh? But the fingerprints on the murder weapon were upside down. Upside down? What does that mean? It means he was holding the bottle like he was gonna hit somebody. Or he was picking it up oddly. It means he was holding the bottle inverted. And there can only be one reason for that. There can be multiple reasons for that. Yes. To brain someone with a bottle. Ugh! I love his face! Oh my god, Apollo, your face! I'm not gonna stop laughing. I think things just took a turn for the worse. Oh? I see no problem, Justice. Huh? The only thing that matters is the truth. There's a good reason for everything. You'll see. Defendant! Can you explain your fingerprints on this bottle to the court? I stand by my plea of silence regarding the murder. For now. See? That little smirk on his face! He knows something. Damn it. Not very cooperative, are you? This could hurt your case. I'm sure he's uncooperative because he's hiding something. There must be some reason.
Objection!
Your Honor, you seem to have forgotten something. And what might that be, Mr. Gavin? On the night of the crime, who was it who reported the murder to the police? Reported? Well, that was the defendant, Mr. Wright, but still, that right there! You don't really report yourself for the murder you've apparently just committed. You don't do that. That's not how this is done. Really? Yes, well, according to the case file, the murder was reported from near the scene by a call from the defendant's cell phone. Near the scene? Let's take a look at the diagram of the murder, shall we? Explain this to me, yes, please do. The victim was murdered in a small room in the basement, 2 floors below the ground level. Of course, cell phones can't get reception so far down. The defendant used the stairs in the hallway to go above ground. The call came from the first floor of the restaurant. I see. And this is the phone that made the call. Alright, cell phone added to the court record. The defendant could have just fled the scene of the crime if he so chose. Yet he fulfilled his duty as a citizen and reported it to the authorities. And you claim he is being uncooperative? He is! He is totally being uncooperative here in the courtroom. Doesn't mean anything, but hey. Nice save, Mr. Gavin. I better not waste this. Blah, 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 blah. I think the prosecution has toyed with our client enough for the time being. Toyed? I assure you, no one is more serious about... What was it you said? The defendant was in the room the very moment that the crime occurred. How can you possibly know this? That's a good question. How indeed? The answer is simple, Your Honor. The prosecution has a decisive witness. Oh! Why'd you have to bring that up? You're as good as they say you are. So, someone else was in the room on the night of the crime. That must mean they witnessed the crime. Everything up till now has been a warm-up, Justice. Are you ready? Not totally, but hey, we can do this. We can do this. Very well. The prosecution may call its first witness to the stand. Oh, I got the Russian. The Russian accent. The witness will state her name and profession. Hold on just a moment. Where's the witness? I surmise that she has been frightened by the defendant's demonic-looking horror. Hey! Whoa, slander! So I use a little hair gel. Relax, people. Have no fear. If any horns point in your direction, this court will cut them off. You're sure? I'm not going to be good at this, guys. I'm not good with a Russian accent. I swear on my gavel, please come out.
Isn't violence against hair a crime, Your Honor?
Well, if you're sure it's okay. Ahem, now prosecution. Wait a minute. Would the prosecution care to explain the witness's, paraphernalia?
Yes. She is a professional, Your Honor. Those are merely the tools of her trade.
And that would be...
My name is Olga Orley. I am employed as a waitress at the Bush Pro Club restaurant.
Then why the camera?
Of course, it is my pride to serve the Bush that is naming a restaurant. But I also perform, how is it said, other services.
I take it one of these other services is taking the customer's pictures.
Da. Like, for example, this one.
That's the defendant!
Indeed. On the night of the murder,
Manny Whitehead is the one who gone kaput. Indeed, that is the victim. Order! Order! This is quite a piece of evidence. To casually drop into our laps.
it is the same way I drop cold rolls of porch on laps of customers. Casually.
Then the court will casually accept this new evidence.
Okay! Great! Now I got a photo of the two interacting. Now, witness, where were you at the time of the murder?
I was in the room. The hideout, we call it.
Excuse me? The hideout? It is room where famous gangster Bad Guy was arrested.
Bad guy! Oh! Oh! Wonderful job! Wonderful job, Ace Attorney team.
It is room where murder took place. What? Hey!
You look a little surprised. It is lovely. I will post my courtroom door later for you. Da. Photos will be numbered, and you will write which ones you want copy of.
So, there were 3 people in the room at the time of the crime. The victim, Shadi Smith, Mr. Wright, and Olga Orley, our witness. And if Mr. Wright isn't the killer, that means
it's gotta be you, lady! Or not! There can totally be a 4th person involved in this. Very well, witness. You will testify to the court about the night's events.
That night, customer asked me to deal cards for game.
It was good. Both players played with hats on. Da.
The victim, he played whole time with his handle locket on his neck. Then last hand's done, but something terrible happened. Da.
I'm actually reading faster than the text. Wonderful.
That man flew at the victim and is strangling him to death.
Oh! Right there! Right there!
Lady, you are a liar!
Incidentally, who won the game?
Isn't it obvious? The winner was the victim, Mr. Smith.
How is it obvious?
That's ridiculous. Because Mr. Wright can't lose.
You're trying to give him a motive for murder, and it's a stupid motive for murder. Justice. Maybe you can come up with more legitimate objection.
But he hasn't lost in 7 years. Take it from me, kid. It happens.
I didn't lose a case in my first 7 years as a prosecutor. Either. You lost one of your cases! Incidentally, I have some evidence here. I'm sorry. These are the poker chips as they lay at the very moment of the crime. The handed chips on this side belong to the defendant, Mr. Wright. Those on the far side belong to the victim, Mr. Smith. Chips, you say? Yes, imagine that. Poker is war. Your hand is your army, and your chips are the spoils. Oh, I know that. After all, in my youth, I was known as the poker head of courtroom number 3. Whoa, judgy boy! I think he means poker face. Looking at this picture, it does seem that most of the chips are on the victim's side of the table. I'm sorry, but it depends on what these chips are worth. Very well. The defense may cross-examine the witness. I will. That last statement, lady, you're getting so screwed for it. Oh, I hate when people lie to me, especially when it's so blatant. Come on. Alrighty! Deal with my pain, lady, because you are lying to my face! Oh, really? Strangled, you say? That's odd. Da! Normal customers only choke on borscht. No, I mean this report shows that the victim died of a blow to the head. Ah! Miss Orderly, really now? Did you witness the crime? Eek! Well, you did a good job of catching the borscht that you let fly into the air. Looking at the picture, it doesn't seem like he was hit. He is still wearing his hat and everything. Yet, it is a fact that he was hit, Your Honor. Interesting. Here's a photo that we took of the victim with his hat off during our investigation. Well, that's quite shocking, isn't it? This head certainly was hit. Wait a minute! There's no locket on his neck! Nitpicks, everybody, it helps. But I was seeing it happen. The defendant, he lunged at the victim. His neck. Oh, really, Miss O'Reilly? I think I've caught you in your own lie this time. Justice, I admire your enthusiasm, but perhaps you should think this through once more. What do you mean? I found a contradiction. There's one thing in her testimony that troubles me. Very well. It seems we should continue the cross-examination. There's such a thing as thinking too much? This horse is dead. Let's stop beating it. There's such a thing as thinking out loud too much, too. You evil! Oh, I hate him. Okay. I'm gonna present the locket because I want to know. I want to know, lady, what locket you talking about? It's not on the victim's body anymore. You know, there was one curious part in her testimony, just like Mr. Gavin said. But what does it mean? Mr. Justice, Would you care to explain what it is you're thinking so intensely about?
Recalled the testimony, Your Honor. The victim played with his hand on a locket at his neck, I believe she said. I hope you aren't about to raise an objection to the witness's grammar.
No, but look at this photograph.
I'm trying to give him British, he's not supposed to be British. Do you see a locket on the victim's neck?
Well done, Justice. I'm impressed. I knew you'd be able to handle this.
But what does it mean?
If we are to believe this witness's testimony as is, then the locket disappeared following the victim's death. Lockets don't just disappear, Your Honor. It's quite simple when you think about it. If the locket is gone, someone must have taken it off. No?
Taken it off? Wait, you don't mean...
The defendant wasn't strangling the victim at all. He was taking off his locket. Wouldn't that explain it?
Ah! Irk!
You didn't see the crime at all! Defendant, what do you have to say to this?
Hold on 1 second.
Dot dot dot. Dot dot dot. Say.
Yes?
I just noticed this, but you have something hanging around your neck, don't you? Oh, you mean this? Yes, it's a locket with a photograph inside. A photo of my daughter. Oh!
Come again?
Mr. Wright, you have a daughter?
We confirmed it at the time of the arrest. The picture in the locket is indeed Mr. Wright's daughter.
Dot dot dot. Oh, this looks so shady. I'm so confuddled. You guys are confuddled too, right? And yes, I am acting like I know nothing. Making myself fresh to the story. So, Mr. Wright has a locket too. Why don't I buy that this is just a coincidence? None of us buy that this is just a coincidence, Apollo. Well now, if the results of this poker game led to the murder, perhaps we should hear a bit more about the outcome of the game.
Further testimony won't really be necessary. It's clear the defendant lost badly.
Dot dot dot. Miss Orley, you will testify to the court about the gameplay between the victim and defendant.
Da.
The gameplay with 3,500 points and chips for each man. House chips come in two sides, large, small, and large. The one who was winning it was the victim. For last time, defendant played with old chips on table and lose. The moment loss was decided, defendant grabs bottle on table and
She's holding her head! Why are you doing that, lady?
Indeed, looking at the picture, it does seem to be a one-sided game.
As the court knows, poker was the defendant's life. Failure must have been a bitter pill to swallow.
Ah, how many times have I heard those words? I'd done it in a fit of rage, Your Honor, and now I regret what I'd done. A common tale, but true. Methinks the judge watches too many old court movies.
Mr. Wright said he hadn't lost in 7 years, so this testimony must be wrong.
I want to know how much each of these chips are worth. Give me a vote.
Are the chips in this photo all the chips that were used?
Da. Of course.
Something's fishy with these chips. Should I press harder?
Oh, press harder! Yeah, always press harder!
Maybe you could explain a bit about these chips.
Explain? What is it there is to be explained?
God, can you not sound like a creeper when you do that? Poker chips are poker chips. They're not fish and chips. Not a chip off the old block. Not a motorcycle cop. Not a...
Get off of it! Thanks. Now that I've pressed her, I'd better ask for something.
What are these chips worth?
Are they in dollars or rubles or even... I don't know! Night. As I have been saying before, it was a game, not gambling. I feel like I keep switching her accent, and I'm so sorry, guys. I'm not good with Russian! Or perhaps for capitalists to understand. Two types of chips. 100-point chip and 1,000-point chip. It is not money, da. Justice. Sir! Don't you find her comments interesting?
In more ways than one, sir.
I'd have it added to her testimony myself. Well, does the defense want the witness to add her testimony?
Yeah, I wanted to add it to the testimony.
Yes, I do think that this deserves further scrutiny.
Add to the testimony.
I wish I knew where I was going with this. Oh, Apollo, just trust me. We're going somewhere. Very well. Witness, if you would be so kind. That's Your Honor. Alright, lady, I'm gonna present something. You are not gonna like what I present. And, yeah. Lady, Phoenix is winning! You're sure it was the victim who won? Absolutely sure? She's so terrified!
It seems our new attorney is a bit confused. A glance at this picture is enough to tell you who won. If you're not in kindergarten.
That picture shows me nothing! That picture just shows a bunch of chips on the table. It's about how much they're worth. You see that? There are 6 red chips for 6,000 points. And then there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 for another 1,000 points of black chips, 500 each. It splits to a perfect 3,500 per person. You can't do that if the black ones are worth 1,000. So, guess what? I win! Doomernagan! Just for safety's sake, could you explain the problem to the court?
Of course, Your Honor. In this photo, I see small chips and I see large chips. Tell me, which were worth 1,000 points? Why, the big ones, of course, duh.
Oh, I thought so too, but then the totals don't add up.
The
review what the witness told us. Each man started with 3,500 points in chips. I've already explained to you guys how this broke down. And the combined total value of the chips was 7,000 points. Yes. If my calculations are correct, let's see. 3 plus 1 carry the 5. They are, Your Honor. Now, look at this photo that allegedly shows all the chips. If the big chips are worth 1,000 points and the small chips are worth 100, and you add them up, how much is it? Do it yourself. You aren't in kindergarten, are you? 10,600 points. The chips don't add up. This clearly contradicts the witness's testimony. But why? How could this be? Exactly, Justice. Now that you know the what, you must determine the why. Right. There's only one possible way to explain this contradiction. You think that's both right. I already explained what the actual situation is. Each man began the game with 3,500 points. If all the chips are indeed shown in this photograph, then there can only be one answer. Well, what is it? The value of the chips was the other way around. What? Want to know what I think? The small chips were worth 1,000 points, not the big ones. Madness! Utter madness! Show me that photograph of the chips again. There are 6 small chips and 10 large chips. I already explained that. Why, that does make 7,000 points when you add them up. Excellent work, Justice. It is almost as though you figured it out by... I did! God damn it! You did not help me at all, Kristoff! I had this figured out before you even said a word! So shut up! Well, I'm just glad I was the one who said it. Can you not do that? But wait! The value of the chips may be different, but that changes nothing. Indeed. The victim did have a larger number of chips still. Oh! Figure it out, Judgy boy! No, I'm not Gary Oak, everybody. I am not Gary Oak. Exactly. If the small chips are worth 1,000 points and large chips are 100, let's do a little math. Add up the points for each side of the table. The victim, Mr. Smith, had 2,900 points, and the defendant had 4,100 points. Well now, it seems that Mr. Wright was winning that night after all. That's impossible! My client had even less reason to kill the victim. After all, he was winning! Yarr! Now, Miss Orley, you must have known the true value of the chips, since you were there at the scene of the crime. Weren't you? Eek! Order! Order! It appears our defendant has lost his motive, and Mr. Wright's supposed defeat never happened. Nick! Lock! We must now ask... Damn it, Judgy boy! I was doing something here! Excuse me, what is it, Miss Orley? Okay, well, damn it, Miss Orley, I was doing something there! I didn't want to be saying this, but, actually, you see, see what? See what, Miss Orley? What do we see? In last time, there was a cheat. Oh, whoa, lady, okay. Let's see, how did you think there's a cheat? A cheat? You don't mean... a trick? Wait, what do you mean? A scam? They're all the same thing! Yes, there was a, blah blah. Yes, there was a cheat in last hand. That is why game ends with chips as they are. Great, just great. First we have lying, now we have cheating. Well, this case certainly has taken a turn for the interesting. Arrgh! There is so much about you, Kristoff, that I just want to kill you, myself, personally. I want you dead because you keep creeping me out with your little innuendo things and your attitude and the way you just have your hands behind your back going, I am better than you all. I know the truth. It makes me think that you've done something that I don't like. Witness, you will please testify to the court. Tell us about this cheating in the final hand. The final hand! The last hand, both men had full house. There is 4 of each card in deck, from ace to king. If you look at both men's hands, cheat is more obvious. The next moment, game becomes argument that the defendant's trick was exposed. He took photo in his hand for Mr. Smith. I'm sorry, but I don't believe what's spewing out of your mouth, lady. Miss Orlais, why did you not tell the court about this from the very beginning? I thought I smelled a cover-up here. Well, folks, it's time to throw back the covers. I love you, Apollo. It's moments like that where he just goes and throws those lovely witty one-liners there. A full house is a very high-scoring hand. Not easy to make in my experience. That alone is enough to suspect less than scrupulous tactics. Mr. Gavin? What's a full house? Lawyers these days, you don't know your poker? Of course I don't! It is apparently illegal in this universe. Do you not realize that I don't do illegal crap? I can't say this bodes well for your case or career. What is this, some kind of secret court pokering? Justice. You know the terms 1 pair, 2 pair, and 3 of a kind, yes? Yeah, no problem. 2 cards with the same number make a pair, and 3 makes a 3 of a kind. Good. Now picture a hand with 1 pair and 1 3 of a kind. That's a full house. That doesn't sound very easy to make, does it? You can see each player's hand in this photo. Wow, they both have full houses. But, Miss Orlais, I'm not seeing where it's very obvious that there's a cheat. We forget, there's an easy way to make a full house and go undefeated for 7 years. You cheat. Hey! Slander! That is so slander! The defense may cross-examine the witness. If he did cheat in the last hand, that still leaves one important question. Mr. Wright lost that hand. Who's ever heard of a professional con man losing when they cheat? I like Apollo's point of view, too. You don't really cheat to lose. Alright, but I need some more information, lady, and one of your statements which doesn't fully add up for me. Yeah, this one. I don't know what you're talking about. Give me information. How was it clear? That, well, the defendant, he'd play a 5th ace. 5th ace? There's no 5th ace on the table. I still remember both hands very well. Both your hands that you remember kind of don't go with the photo we have. Mr. Smith's hand has 3 aces. And Mr. Wright's has 2.
Obviously, cheating was afoot. Or perhaps I should say, a hand.
Your Honor, perhaps this can be added to the testimony without Mr. Payne's joke? Very well. The witness will add this detail to her testimony. Please. Yes, please. I'm going to, Come on. I want to present the chip photo which contradicts you. It appears the witness is mistaken. Mistaken? But my name. Look, this piece of evidence clearly contradicts what you said in your testimony. That's the photo of the chips, is it not? Justice? Perhaps you ought to explain your point in a way that the judge can comprehend. It's very comprehensible! You just look at the goddamn photo! In other words, use your finger to point out your point. Yes. Please point out the contradiction in this photo. Fine, judgy boy. I will point out what you apparently can't get. Miss Orley, in your testimony, you made the following claim. Mr. Smith's hands had 3 aces. Bum, bum, bum! But as you can clearly see, the victim's hand only had 2 aces. Well, maybe the victim was simply confused. Perhaps it was the defendant's hand that held the 3rd ace in question. Take another look at the evidence! As you can see, the defendant also had 2 aces in his hand. Where's the 5th ace? I see cheating alright, and it's going on right here in this courtroom! Damn it! People have to listen to me! Two aces in each player's hand does make 4 aces total. Hardly proof of cheating. Wait, please. It is true. I have seen it. The 5th ace. There was cheating, I swear to you. That's odd. She must be lying, yet she's the most sincere I've seen her all day. You're right to trust your instincts. Mr. Gavin? Who knows what lies in store for us in the trial ahead? Your Honor, if I may, I have a suggestion. What might that be, Mr. Gavin? If you don't mind, perhaps we might examine the actual cards. The cards? Mr. Payne. Yes? The players' hands that night were set aside as evidence, were they not? The defense would like to request that the cards be shown to the court. I'm fine with that. Very well, the prosecution will submit this evidence. Which will you examine, the victim's cards or the defendant's cards? If these cards don't prove cheating was going on, nothing will. Now, which of these hands is more suspicious? The victim's hand. It's the one we have the controversy over. It was the victim's hand that changed over the course of the witness's testimony. The defense would request time to examine Mr. Smith's cards. Very well. Mr. Payne, if you would. Very well. I received the cards. I received my cards in the hand. Well, time's a wasting. Get to it, Justice. Yes, sir. When examining evidence, be sure to view it from all sides and angles. Try using the dials on the evidence viewer. That should give you a better perspective on the case. Okay, let's do this. Oh! victim's cards, the back is a different color. That's impossible. But I put that card in right hand. Oh! Oh, yeah, lady! I totally just played you for a fool. Ark! What was that, Miss Olay? No, night. I nearly said a. That I have. Eek! Your Honor, Mr. Gavin, yes? Tell me, what is the easiest way to cheat at poker? To cheat. I'll tell you. One merely needs a friend, a comrade, shall we say. The dealer. Ah! Ah! Wait, so you mean this witness, Miss Orlay? She's the cheater, a professional, I'd wager. Narg! Order! Order! Focus. Justice, time to take advantage of her. Of her mistake. Your Honor, please recall the testimony we just heard. Oh, that's impossible. But I put that card in right hand. Ergo, Ms. Olga Orlay conspired to cheat, not with my client, but with the victim, Mr. Shady Smith. Hey, what's his name? It's adorable. Not only did she cheat, she cheated poorly. Therefore, it's not hard to imagine an altercation between her and the victim. What? What? You don't mean the defense isn't accusing the witness, Miss Olga Orlay, are you? Time for justice! There were 3 people in the room at the time of the incident. And if Mr. Wright isn't guilty, that means you're guilty, lady! Or at least, at the moment I gotta accuse you. I am. The defense accuses the witness, Miss Olga Orlay, of murder. I don't completely agree with you, Apollo, but let's go for it. Oh, she fainted from being accused of murder. But the bush just falls perfectly in place. Oh, God. You were so lucky, lady, otherwise you'd be covered in the bush. Mr. Payne, where is your witness, Miss Olga Orlay? It appears she has lost consciousness, Your Honor. Mr. Justice, Your Honor, it seems you presented a new possibility to the court. One suggesting a connection between the witness and the victim, Mr. Smith. And that means this court cannot pronounce a verdict for the defendant at this time. What? I did it! I held out! I see no point in prolonging the trial this day. The prosecution will need to make further inquiries. Phoenix! Dear God! Phoenix! Mr. Wright? You can't end the trial here, Your Honor. Not yet. What nonsense is the defendant spewing now? Think. One of the cards had a different colored back. Don't you wonder what that means? What are you doing, Mr. Wright? Raising objections when you're about to get off the hook? Ridiculous! Mr. Payne, you of all people should know. Mr. Wright has a talent for the ridiculous! Damn it, Wright! I have to throw a screw into my life. Let's clear up the facts about the game that fateful night. As it was said before, we alternated between 2 decks of cards that night. That was said before. The 2 decks of the club have different colored backs, blue and red. 1 color per deck. Why use different colored backs? If you use the same color, the 2 decks might get mixed. You used different colors and they still got mixed up, damn it! We used the red deck for the last game. I see, but that's odd. For some reason, I have this impression that you were using the blue cards. Hey! Guess what? Who threw that little tidbit of information to me? Why is nobody questioning that? Yeah, me too. I'm sure someone said something about blue cards. Whatever. In the end, one card with the wrong color got into the mix, which means that there was cheating. Yes, a card slipped into a deck would indicate cheating. Yet, this card raises two serious questions. Apollo? Yes? Let's consider the first question, shall we? Think, in the last game, when was the card swapped? When? There are three board possibilities here. It could have been swapped before the murder, during the murder, or after the murder. Well, yeah, thanks for the news bulletin, Mr. Wright. Of course it was swapped. Oh? It might be as simple as you think, Mr. Payne, or it might not be. Oh yeah, Mr. Payne! Try beating my logic. You've never won a case against Phoenix. I'd like to hear what Apollo thinks first. When do you think the cards were swapped? When was the card swapped into the deck? It had to be after the murder. Perhaps it happened after the murder? What's that? Ridiculous! What's the point of cheating after the hands have already been shown? That's silly. Yes, but tell me, how do you swap cards during the game? I'll take silly over impossible. Take it from me, son. There's a lot of silly in the world, but very little impossible. Oh? Even when the backs of the cards are a different color? If you pulled that during the game, you'd be caught in no time. Oh, quite true. That would mean the blue card in question was swapped after the hands were shown, after the murder. Okay, this is going straight past silly and straight on to crazy. I'll ask again, what's the point of cheating after the game's over? Who would do that? Who indeed? That's one of the mysteries before us. There's another? Yes, a simple yet decisive question that must be asked. Who swapped the red card for a blue card? Who? Only two remain in the room, alive that is. The defendant, Phoenix Wright, and our witness, Olga Orly. Okay, so who was it that swapped the red card for the blue card? Someone else. The one who swapped the cards wasn't Mr. Wright, of course. And, well, it doesn't seem like it could have been Miss Olga Orly either. What are you suggesting? That's hardly a logical conclusion, I'll admit. As the defense, I think it only makes sense for you to name Miss Orly at this point. Yes, I know, but she was the one who dealt the cards, right? I just can't believe that she would make the mistake of swapping the wrong color. And if the card gets swapped during the game, it'd be obvious. Why are you laughing? Something you like to share with the court, Mr. Wright. Oh, my apologies, Your Honor. I was just thinking of how much fun this is. Fun? How about confusing? I have no idea what the defense is claiming, Your Honor. If one who swapped the card wasn't the defendant, and it wasn't Miss Orly, then who was it? Yeah, well, that is a question, isn't it? Precisely. Huh? I believe we're about to see this case take a new direction. A new direction? We'll find out indeed after the murder. Someone swapped one of the cards in the victim's hand. and that someone made 2 critical mistakes. I'm sure you're going to tell us that the first was swapping the wrong color card, because the one who did this swap didn't know the 2 colors of cards were being used. The other mistake was the number on the card. Right. The person replaced the 5th ace with a king. I'm sure whoever swapped it wasn't expecting there to be a 5th ace after all. All they knew was that there was a game that had been won with a full house. So they picked up a king from the table and swapped it in. But there's one problem. According to our case records, this person doesn't exist. True, not until now. But you do have to admit the possibility of a 4th person. Though it's more of a possibility. There was someone else there that night at the scene of the crime. What? I believe the judge spoke truthfully earlier. You do make trials ridiculous, Mr. Wright. This trial has proceeded on one central assumption. Namely, that at the time of the incident, there were only 3 people in that room. I believe this new evidence, shall we say, overturns that assumption. The problem is you chose to conceal this information from the court. I suppose that is a problem, yes. Court is adjourned for a brief recess. Mr. Gavin, I'll see you in my chambers during this recess. Certainly, Your Honor. Very well. The trial will resume in 20 minutes. April 20th, 11th. That took us 1 hour and 52 minutes to get to that point in the trial in game time. Wonderful. That was quite unexpected, Mr. Wright. To suddenly claim there was another person at the scene of the crime like that. I must ask, is it the truth? Well, now, I think you would know the answer to that. Being mysterious, are we? Are we? Sadly, I have no time for mysteries. I'd only ask that you leave the defending to your defense in the future. Otherwise, I cannot guarantee the outcome. I see you haven't mellowed out one bit, Kristoff. Justice. Yes, sir! The judge has summoned me to his chambers, so carry on without me. Something's fishy there. You did well, Apollo. Can I ask you something? Sure. That locket you wear. Is that really yours, Mr. Wright? Ah, you're wondering about the victim's disappearing locket. Here, you can take a look at it. That's a picture of my daughter in there. It might be a picture of your daughter. Doesn't mean that there's not something shady going on about why you suddenly have a locket. Aw, she's so cute. I'm just surprised to hear you had a daughter. Most people are. Perhaps you'll meet her one of these days. One more question. The one who cheated that night, was it you? ... What do you think? You know what happened 7 years ago? What I did? Oh, it's not unreasonable for you to think I might cheat. I never, honest, but it is odd that he managed to go undefeated for 7 whole years. Want to know something? There's only one game where you can be dealt bad cards all night and still win. Poker. Eh? You see, poker is all about reading your opponent. In that way, it's a lot like a court case. Poker is like a trial law. Figure out what your opponent is thinking and you win. Well, yeah, but that's harder than it sounds. I think not. Try as they might to conceal it, everyone reveals their true thoughts in the end. Their body language can become a valuable source of information. You're kidding! That witness, for instance, Miss Orlais? She would touch the back of her neck during certain parts of her testimony. Did you notice? I did notice because I was a nitpicker! But thank you for saying my nitpicking is a wonderful topic. No. Come on, who would notice that? Me! I noticed it, Apollo! Words, habits, twitches, it's all information for the reading. That's the secret to winning, Apollo. Someone taught me, and now I pass the secret on to you. But I'm not worthy! I mean, there's no way I'll pick up on these signals. No, you can do it. Huh? You just don't know it yet. What's he talking about? But you will, soon. Yeah, I almost forgot. One more thing. About this case. You should know I haven't told the truth to anyone yet. What? I knew it! I have my reasons, of course. All shall be revealed. And Apollo, I need you to be there, defending me. I need your power. My, power? I had no idea my cords of steel were that special. I don't think that's what he's talking about here, everyone. It's time. The real trial begins now. Do your best. Oh, and there we go, everybody! That is it for our first part, our first episode in the first chapter of Apollo Justice. Oh my goodness, isn't it so suspenseful? I love this game for everything it throws at you. It definitely took a lot more of a twist in comparison to the other games of the series. Plus, Apollo is such a fun character to play around with. Anyway, guys, I hope to see you guys on the next episode of Apollo Justice, and there will be more Ace Attorney content flooding into this channel very shortly. I am trying my best to make sure I record a ton of Ace Attorney content so you guys have all kinds of stuff leading up to Ace Attorney Spirit of Justice that comes out on the 8th of September. Anyway, thank you all for joining me. As you will see on your screen turning now, you can click on these lovely buttons to find more lovely content on the channel, as well as a big red button down below where you can click to subscribe to the channel today. At the time I'm recording this, we are almost at 100 subscribers, and I would really like to make that goal. It's the first milestone, and once I do, you guys actually will be seeing a stream on the channel, and it's going to be a very fun stream, everybody. Trust me, it's a throwback to the people who know of my Twitch days from last year. It was the first game I ever streamed, and that's about all I'm going to tell you until I actually do it. Anyway, I thank you all for the lovely support. I hope you guys will continue to watch the videos on the channel, and I will catch you all on the flip side. Bye, guys.